Today's single women are too aggressive. In order to get married, some of them are willing to give the man $7,000 as a betrothal gift, in addition to not asking for an apartment or a car. Others are willing to give $14,000 plus 3 or 5 gold jewelry. They all have apartments, cars, and savings, but what about me? I only have a rental space. How can I compete? I'm crying. I am almost 35 years old and an older leftover woman. Now, I don't ask for a dowry. However, even if I pay for the living space or a car by myself, it's still hard to get married because the guys I go on blind dates with think I'm too old. I have no choice. It's too difficult to find a partner. I'll just live alone. There are more than 200 million single men and women in China now. Most of the leftover men are in rural areas, often because of financial difficulties and inability to afford the cost of marriage. Most of the leftover women are in big cities. Unlike the leftover men, these leftover women are often highly educated, good-looking, and high-income groups. Because of the differences in social wealth and class, these leftover men and women cannot be together. Today, we're going to talk about this topic. In April last year, Hangzhou City held a blind date event for thousands of people. As a result, there were hundreds of girls but only a handful of boys, which was a very embarrassing scene. Some men, seeing that there were only so few males, simply chose to leave early. In early December last year, a blind date conference was held in a 5-star hotel in Wuhan City, but 800 well-dressed women and no male guests showed up. The admission fee for this blind date conference in Wuhan was free for boys, and girls had to pay $523 each. So the total cost of 800 girls was $418,000, and in the end there was not a single man showing up. It was a complete waste of time. Regarding boys' reluctance to attend blind dates, some netizens analyzed that high-quality men don't need to go on blind dates at all. It's easy for them to find a girlfriend. Men with poor conditions will not go either because they know their limitations. Girls usually require men to have a condo, a car, and a dowry. If he does not have these conditions, why bother going on a blind date? You can only bring shame upon yourself. There are many older women in big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. They are all high-quality women, highly educated, with stable jobs and decent looks. However, because of their age, it's difficult for them to find a partner even if they keep lowering their requirements. I was born in 1988, single and unmarried. I have a master's degree and have my own company. I always believe that earning money on my own is a sign of excellence, but at my age I have been frustrated in the dating market. I can tell young girls without reservation that man, no matter if they are people of the same age or younger than you, they discriminate against your age, and this discrimination seems to be recognized by society as if you deserve it. An objective fact is that very few people of your age are single. Perhaps your best destination is to be prepared to live alone until the end of your life. I just saw that girl wanted to add you on WeChat. Why did you reject her? She is already 35 years old. Why should I add her? I think she's in good condition. She has a stable job and a condo. It's useless. She is so well off and doesn't spend any money on me. She still wants me to spend money and live in my apartment, right? Look at the older women. They want men to spend money and provide love value. I feel like I will bring home an ancestor to enshrine, not a wife. Nowadays, as long as the young girl is not a gold digger, you don't have to spend much money and she can still provide you with love value. Look at the performance of Xiaomi SU7, which is priced at $28,000 now. Then look at the Porsche, which is priced the same 10 years ago. But think about it, how bad have their engines become? I can accept growing old together, but I cannot accept being old when we meet. Besides, they are old, and if they give birth to a child, they will be elderly mothers. Blogger Lin Lin is 36 years old, unmarried and childless. She said that she met a blind date online. The man is very well off and earns $40,000 a year, but he is not good looking. Although Lin Lin knows that you can't have your cake and eat it too, she still proposed a breakup after meeting the man twice. After meeting him twice offline in April last year, I took the initiative to suggest to him that we should just be ordinary friends. It would not be suitable for us to develop a relationship. Afterwards, he tried to save the relationship, so he showed me screenshots of some of his income, including monthly taxes, the company's year-end bonus, stock dividends, and savings. He is indeed very powerful, but it does not rule out what he said online. Some men only keep their money for women to see, not to spend on you. He wants to get you with the lowest cost.
以最少的成本能够把你搞定。
One netizen commented, if he was the perfect man, he would have been picked up long ago. Another netizen reminded the blogger, after marriage, his money is yours. Why think so much? In China, when getting married, the man usually has to give the woman a gift. In Jiangxi province, the gift is generally around 40,000. It's higher in rural areas. In Guangzhou Fujian province and other southern Fujian regions, the general bride price is 28 to 70,000. Some regions require additional conditions, such as 3 gold jewelry and real estate. Since Chinese girls have relatively high requirements for economic conditions, many boys have to look abroad because foreign girls don't want dowries, cars, or apartments. In recent years, more and more foreign girls have married in China. According to statistics on foreign marriages, in 2019, more than 29,000 Chinese men married foreign wives. In 2020, more than 10,000 foreign wives married in China. In 2021, this number rose to more than 27,000. This Chinese guy married a Ukrainian wife. In order to support our marriage, my father-in-law sent us $50,000 in total, and his family didn't ask for a dowry. Why do you think this foreigner is interested in me? Why does she pursue a poor guy like me so closely? Honey, what are you looking at? Why are you so engrossed? Let me see these photos of yours when you came to study in China. What are you looking at this for? Wife, when we were in college, there were so many handsome guys in school. Why did you choose me? When I first came to China, I couldn't speak Chinese, so I didn't have many friends. Everyone spoke Chinese and I couldn't understand it, but when I met you for the first time, I found that you could speak fluent English. At that time, I was wondering why this boy is so amazing, and I also think you are handsome, so I want to chat with you. The last sentence is true.
最后这句倒是实话。
When the girl invited the Chinese guy for the first time, he was a little surprised and refused, and the girl was very sad. Later, he found that the girl was very smart and kind, and they had common hobbies. They always had endless things to talk about when they were together, and slowly they came together.
And ever since we're together, always care about me. When I'm sick, you take care of me too. And you can cook. 我在网上看到
I saw on the internet that in many Northeast families, it's the boys who cook. This is not the case abroad, where very few boys know how to cook. And you bought me a condo and a car to make me happier, which proved that I have good vision. Don't worry, since you have the courage to choose me, I will definitely not let you lose.
勇气选我了，我指定不能让你输。
Vietnamese brides are loved by Chinese men because of their gentle, virtuous, and hard-working personalities. Especially in Guangxi province, it's not uncommon to marry a Vietnamese bride. There is a popular saying in the local area, if you can't find a wife, a Vietnamese bride will come to the door. She doesn't ask for a bride price or a condo, and she can do both housework and cook. However, this Vietnamese blogger reminded Chinese guys not to marry Vietnamese brides through matchmaking agencies. It will cost a lot of money, and the brides may also easily run away. She suggested that Chinese guys could travel to Vietnam and find a girlfriend there. With an established love foundation between the two, not only would they not need to spend too much on the bride price, but their marriage would also be relatively stable.
你们是太天真了吗？还是太
You
勇
too
敢？
naive or too brave? Why would you spend thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars on matchmakers or marriage agencies to ask them to help you find a Vietnamese wife? Did you know the divorce rate in China is ridiculously high now? When you marry a Chinese wife, you two are from the same country and you have the feeling base, but you still separate later, let alone go abroad to find a wife now. You don't know her and she doesn't know you. You don't know Vietnam and she doesn't know China. You were introduced by a matchmaker, you two get married in a hurry. Do you think such a marriage can be happy? In fact, Vietnamese girls are not unmarriageable. Even if her conditions are poor, she can find a boy with average conditions to marry in Vietnam. Why does she go abroad? Why would she travel so far to marry you? Then she must seek you to be nice to her and have good conditions, and she hopes you can support her. However, after she marries you, she might find you can't help her. You had no field base in the first place, and now she realizes that you are not wealthy enough, so she ran away after being with you for a few months.
那么他跟你在一起了，几个月后他就跑了。
Of course, Chinese men who are willing to choose foreign women as their wives are a minority, after all. The biggest problem in this country is the huge disparity between older men and women, which makes it difficult for men to find suitable wives, and women to have no chance to marry themselves off. Do you know how hard older single women are trying to get married? There are many typical examples around me where ladies can lower the bride price, lower the requirements for an apartment, and are even willing to pay a high dowry themselves in order to get married. Have you ever seen this? Some girls message saying that I am too cheap because I don't ask for the betrothal gift, and that I am a money loser because I pay the betrothal gift. Sisters, we are different. You are young, pretty, and have a good figure. The boys chasing you line up all the way to France. But I am almost 35 years old. If I don't pay tens of thousands of dollars as a dowry to marry a man, I will end up living alone in this life. Please be a human being. Really, do you want me to live alone for the rest of my life? Matchmaker Jing read the conditions of an older woman at the blind date corner of Wansong Academy in Hangzhou City. She felt that the current marriage market is very cruel, and some older women are really anxious. Any older lady who is left alone is because her value is too low. This was said by a male member of mine who just broke up. He said that those older women who want to get married and claim to be of high quality, no matter how pretty they look, how highly educated they are, or how free and easy they are, as long as they are left alone, it means that the requirements for a spouse are unrealistic. The type of person she wants to marry doesn't want to marry her, and the men willing to marry her are not what she likes. Ultimately, it's because their demands in the marriage market are too high. Their status has been unsold for too long, and in the end, they end up being stuck. I said she is pretty, well-educated, and has a high income, so is that not okay? The male member sighed and said that she was pretty, but there were also girls as good-looking as her at the age of 20, and their requirements were even lower. She graduated from a top 30 university, but there are countless female graduates from top 30 universities working in office buildings in first-tier cities. She earns $2,750 a month, but she doesn't give it to me to spend. Instead, she uses her own $2,750 a month as a bargaining chip to ask me for more money. That's worse than having no monthly salary at all. She said that she could give birth to a child for me in 5 years and raise the child into a highly educated person in 20 years. The problem is whether she'll be able to give birth to a child in 5 years. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.